Welcome back. Our mill is all warmed up and ready for a vise. This will require several tools including, a dead blow hammer, a dial indicator, an edge finder, parallels, and stock, to name a few. All these items, and others, can be found on the workbench to your left. Your first step is to open the mill door and check the table for any debris. If there is anything left on the table, your vise will not be level. Grab and swipe the cloth over the table to make sure it is clear.
What if I don't clear the platform?
When wiping down the mill table, you are clearing any debris that could be present. Not removing these could lead to the vise not leveling properly, or you could damage the mill table or the vise. The table is clear. Before you place the vise on the table, you need to spray it with a bow shield. Bow shield is a rust inhibitor to help protect the vise and table. Next, you will grab the vise and place it on the table. You will want to make sure the bottom of the vise is cleaned before it is placed on the table. When you grab the vise, turn it over and then grab and swipe the cloth over it to make sure it is clear, then place the vise on the mill table. The vise is clear. Now that your vise is in the central position, you will need to tighten it into place. Grab the T-bolts from the table and slide them into position. To start the vise alignment process, we will tighten only the left T-bolt. This gives us a pivot point for making small adjustments easier. Grab the wrench and tighten the left T-bolt. Now we need to check the alignment of the vise. To do this, we will change out the tool for the dial indicator. First, you will press MDI then T10. This will initiate the tool change process.
What is MDI button?
Manual data input, the mode that allows an operator to manually enter and execute blocks of programming code at the control panel. In MDI mode, code is entered one block at a time, and each block deletes from the machine as soon as it is executed unless the program is saved as a new file. The tool slot has been emptied. You will need to insert the dial indicator into the tool slot. For the sake of the exercise, we have already placed the dial indicator into the end mill holder. the tool will snap into place on its own, but usually tightening would be required. Now that the dial indicator has been placed, we will be determining the alignment of the vise. The vise needs to be perfectly aligned to ensure there are no collisions or work errors. We are automating this process for you but will describe what is happening. What you will see now is the table moving so the vise jaws are directly below the dial indicator. If you were completing this task, you would use the handle jog to manually adjust the X and Y positions. Once the dial indicator contacts the left side of the vise jaw, you are looking for the dial indicator to read 0. Once it does, the table is in the correct position to continue the alignment check. Now that the dial indicator is reading 0, we can proceed. Next, you will see the table move in the X-axis, so the dial indicator sweeps across the face of the vise jaws. You are looking to see the dial indicator change, which tells us that the vise is not perfectly aligned. As you can see, our dial indicator has moved from 0, so our vise needs some slight adjusting. I could use your help here. Grab the dead blow hammer and tap the front right side of the vise a few times until the dial indicator reads 0.
What are the axes?
The mill has 3 axes. X moves the mill table from left to right, Y moves the mill table front and back, and Z moves the spindle up and down. Great! You can see that the dial indicator now reads 0. This tells us that the vise is aligned from left to right. We need to tighten both the left and right T-bolts to make sure it is secure. Grab the wrench and tighten both T-bolts. We will check one last time that our vise is still aligned. There is always a possibility that we knocked or shifted the vise while aligning. Our dial still reads 0 in its current position. You will see the mill table move in the X position again. Looks like we were successful in keeping the vise aligned while tightening the T-bolts. Great work! Our vise is now ready for stock. To protect the vise, we will first place parallels into the vise. The stock will sit on top of the parallels. Grab the parallels and place one on each face of the vise.
What are parallels?
In the context of a CNC mini mill, parallel sides refer to the two sides of a workpiece that are equidistant from each other at all points. These sides are often held in the vise during machining to ensure precise, uniform cuts. Parallels, which are precision ground steel blocks, are commonly used to support the workpiece within the vise, ensuring it is held at the correct height and orientation. Now you will place the stock in the vise sitting on top of the parallels. Perfect. We want to make sure our stock stays put. Grab the vise handle, and tighten the front bolt of the vise. Just to be safe, grab the dead blow hammer and tap the top of the stock, to make sure it is snug in the vise. Well done. This completes the vise setup portion. You are now ready for the next course. Please click the door to move on.